Hi, Oluseye. Thank you so much for coming to BizTalk. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
My pleasure having you. So let's start talking before then your venture. Let's give a bit of yourself.
Okay, my name is Oluseye Oyeniyi. I'm from Lagos, Nigeria, in West Africa. A microbiologist, and worked in the pharmaceutical sector for about a decade. After leaving the university in 2009, I worked in 2009, 2010. I worked in the pharmaceutical sector starting 2011 as a sales representative. And in 2013, I worked as a management trainee. So while working as a management trainee, I got exposed into different sectors. I was in production, I was in quality assurance, I was in logistics, and in these sectors, during this period, I was able to meet different part of the pharmaceutical sector, interacting with people from sales, logistics, quality assurance personnel, production personnel, right until 2015 when I got back to sales. And and then late 2015, early 2015 actually, I created Serotonin, which is the company that bet this startup, now PX. And okay, so and I've been in the pharmaceutical space since then. I'm very passionate about healthcare, especially in the emerging nations.
Thank you. So let's start talking about your business, your startup.
Yeah, my startup is Now PX. Now PX came up as an idea while working as a sales representative in a company which is a multinational in Nigeria. I found out that there's a gap because Nigeria is a third world nation for now, and healthcare is a very important need. About 70% of healthcare spending comes out of pocket of the patient or from of the populace. So there's a huge need to fill the healthcare needs of this populace because of the different illnesses such as malaria, typhoid, and all causes. And then late 2018, emerging diseases like corona also came. And so while all these diseases existed, there's a need for the populace, the patients, the citizens to have quality health care. And while working as a sales representative, I found out that there are huge needs. There are patients who need drugs, and because of their busy schedule or their lifestyle or their preference, some of them want privacy. They don't want to go outside looking for drugs. They want it delivered to their home or even their offices. They don't want to go into the nosy neighborhood or nosy pharmacy and trying to share their details of their illnesses or of whatever ailment they're trying to cure. And so because of that, I found out that many of them want it to be delivered to their houses, to their homes, sometimes at great margins. They don't mind. And that's for the patient. Then for the resellers, there are also issues of logistics because resellers, many of them who are pharmacists, so they own a pharmacy outlet, they own a pharmacy store, they have inventory, they have a stock, but they have the need to restock. But because they have needs to restock, they need to go to the open market to buy drugs and buy large quantities. And because of this, they face some challenges like logistics, bad roads, their cars breaking down, having issue with different types of stock from different manufacturers. And even before now, there used to be problem of faking. So they need a reliable platform where they can order quality products at fair price delivered to their store without them facing logistics issues, without them being afraid of being shortchanged in terms of pricing, and then without them being afraid of faking of drugs. So that was when this idea occurred to me that there should be a platform that gives pharmacy to you now, wherever you are at home or at your store, you get it now. And that's the idea for now.
Thank you. So what's the stage of your platform today?
All right. We've launched. As a matter of fact, we've been existing since 2015, and then the platform has serviced. We've serviced over 100 resellers. We've serviced over 50 patients. We've processed orders of over $100,000, and then we've gotten funding from investors, from actually one investor for now. We got it funding in February 2022. We got about $10,000 funding from one investor. So that's the stage we are now, early revenue.
Okay, so today you are fundraising for the second time for doing what?
Yeah, the first funding we got was to get our key hires, to get a pharmacist, to get a space where we can have our inventory and have a point of contact for our key hires, our engineers, our pharmacists to work. And so the next stage we're going now is to launch fully all over the country. We're going to get the licensing completed. We're going to get startup inventory to meet up with demand of our customers. And we're going to fully put all our hires on the ground in terms of our pharmacists and our engineers, and put them on 24-hour service so that we're able to meet the needs of our customers. So our next fundraising is for our inventory and our hiring of our personnel fully, not part-time, fully.
Okay. So in terms of business model, how do you make money?
Yeah, our model presently is profit margin. We work on the profit margin for resellers of about 30%, for resellers of about 10%, and for patients of about 30%.
Okay. So where is your market? Is Lagos, Nigeria, your market, or do you want to spread in all Africa?
Yeah. I'm glad you know about Lagos, Nigeria. Presently, we've been servicing Lagos and environ, talking about the western part of Nigeria. But for this next fundraising, we'll be doing all over Nigeria.
And how much are you raising now?
Yeah, we're looking to raising $143,000.
And how are you going to use this money?
Yeah, we'll use this money for, firstly, we're going to get a bigger warehouse to keep our inventory, and then we're going to finalize our licensing in the key locations, because we need to ensure that our licensing at each of those locations are perfect with the regulatory authorities, and our warehouse are optimum in terms of all the equipment needed. And then we need to get inventory of about $20,000 to meet up with demand, inventory of that are going to meet up demand for various ailments of our patients and customers, and upgrade our e-commerce website to allow for 24-hour service without downtime. And then we'll do some advertisements on social media and also traditional media. And then we're also going to get some vans and delivery bikes. We're going to get vans and delivery bikes that are going to be up with our patients and the resellers at their points. And of course, we're going to finance our team.
But in terms of service, so what's your customer? The people coming to your platform, what they can buy, which kind of service are you going to deliver?
Yeah, they buy, presently we've been offering various kinds of drugs for sale. We give them products ranging from anti-malarial to anti-hypertensive products, to anti-diabetic products, to supplements. Because if you look at Nigeria, majority of the treatment of the ailment that people face are basically malaria, tuberculosis, and HIV. So we are taking the number one, we're taking malaria, and then we are taking tuberculosis. Malaria with our anti-malaria products, then tuberculosis and other infectious diseases with our antibiotics, which we have a range of them. We have a range of them on our platform presently, and we're going to stock more. And of course, for the emerging diseases like the viral diseases coming up, we have plans to also stock up in terms of having other products that can help with their immune system and also people that are managing critical cases. And once they get their prescription from the doctors, they can upload their prescription on our platform and we're able to deliver to them wherever they are.
Okay. What about the doctors? How the doctors come to work with you?
Yeah, how doctors come in is that doctors are very important in establishing the true situation of the patient, so that the patient is not taking the drug out of imagination. They are taking the drug because they have been really certified by physician and there's a real prescription given to them. So that's how the doctors come in. The patient has an ailment, he goes to the hospital, and the necessary test is done on the patient. So the doctor gives them a prescription, then we fulfill the prescription on via our platform.
So your users will pay for the prescriptions?
They don't pay. They don't pay for uploading prescriptions. They only pay for the drugs.
So they only pay for drugs, but they do not pay for the prescription. So how do you pay the doctors?
We pay the doctors from the margins that we're going to earn from the sales of the drugs we sell.
In terms of pricing, are you going to be cheaper or more expensive than normal pharmacy brick and mortar?
Because we are operating with larger scale and leaner cost structure, we're going to be relatively cheaper. Like the brick and mortar, all their processes are brick and mortar. They have everything brick and mortar. But because we are online majorly, our structure is a bit leaner, and some of our processes we use third parties, so it makes us cheaper. That's why we're going to be relatively cheaper than the brick and mortar.
But in terms of supply, how do you supply your products? And what about the license? How easy is to get a license in Nigeria?
Provided you have good, like I was saying, your warehouse is fine. You have all the facilities they need. There's the right aeration. There's the right refrigeration of the product, and the environment is certified hygienically clean. Getting the license is not a problem. I mean, we've been interacting with the officials and they're fine with us. They visited our outlets and they're okay with it.
Okay, so getting license is not that complicated.
It's not difficult.
Great. So what do you see how to develop your platform? Today you want to be in Nigeria. What about tomorrow?
Yeah, if you look at this, I said that we're going to establish regional distribution centers at different zones in Nigeria, and by Q4-3, we'll get to Ghana, Kenya, and South Africa. It's not a new thing. Our competitors are already doing it. We have M-Pharma doing it. We have RX doing it, and they're doing fine. They are our friends. We are peers in the field. We talk to each other, and we also interact with some people in all these countries. And we found out that there's still a big market. Kenya, South Africa, Q3 2023.
So who are your competitors?
Like I mentioned earlier, RXO, M-Pharma, Drugstock. Those are our competitors. But we are not afraid of them. The market is big. The market is big. Africa is billion population. The biggest problem is healthcare. Emerging diseases are everywhere. Healthcare spending is basically out of pocket for now for over 70% of those populations. So the market is big. We are not afraid of our competitors, and we have better advantages that they are not presently utilizing.
How big is this market?
Nigeria alone has about $2.5 billion pharma market. That's for Nigeria alone. Africa, we're going to Nigeria alone is $2.5 billion according to Google.
But how much do you think you can obtain? What's your obtainable market here in terms of how much of the market you can serve, really?
Yes, for Nigeria, we can in 5 months get about 25% of the online shopping healthcare market. That is 25% of those who shop online, we're going to get that market in 5 months for Nigeria.
Okay. I mean, in terms of vision, what's your vision for
Yeah,
it?
that's if we have all the okay. The vision for our company is to be the #1 destination for healthcare analytics service in Africa. That is your #1 destination when you think about healthcare needs. When you think about meeting your healthcare needs in Africa, in Nigeria, the first thing that wants to come with our vision is to make NowPX your #1 choice.
So you want to be the #1 platform in Nigeria and Africa for buy drugs online, right?
Exactly, exactly.
So what about telemedicine? Are you going to move there one day? Are you going to give to your customers, clients coming to your platform also the doctor, for example?
Yes, yes. As a matter of fact, in the line of telemedicine, we have professionals that we are grooming in that wise. And as a matter of fact, our investor who invested in us early in the month, early in the year, is a acclaimed. He got uh, he got certified by United Nations for his. He actually got 4 patents for his invention in the lines of telemedicines and teleproducts. So where I'm going to is that on the long term, about 5 years, 4 years time, we're going to go into telemedicine. We can do telediagnosis. We are also recruiting more diagnostics. We're recruiting more diagnostics professionals. We're going to have patients who here in Nigeria can get their doctor prescribe or diagnose their ailments just virtually, just the way I'm looking at you. Their doctor can prescribe them. And presently, we have a partnership with a platform in India. I don't want to mention them now so that I don't advertise them, whereby right here in Nigeria, we can have your virtual diagnostic done, and they can also help you in the treatment in India. So we do the diagnostics, and then in India, you get the treatment. Then for the medications, you get them from NowPX in your doorstep here in Nigeria.
What can be your message to investors? Why they should invest in you, your team, and your platform?
Okay, why they should invest in me and my team and our platform is one, first of all, as the founder, I got the passion. I got the passion for healthcare. I remember 2015, 2011, personally, my mom got paralyzed about in the middle of the night, and she was sick. And I was with my family, we were trying to get medications for her. We didn't even understand what it meant. There was no platform online then. There was no way for you to get medications then. So for me personally, I think I have that gap innately to fill. And then for as a career person, I've worked in the space for over a decade. I've dedicated about 10 years, 15 years of my life doing healthcare, doing pharmacy, production, distribution, and sales to reputable companies, multinational companies. I don't want to mention names. Basically, most multinational companies in Nigeria, I have first-hand information with the owners and and the managers. We deal on a first name basis. And that's for me. For my team, we are coming from the best companies in Africa, in Nigeria. Meta, worldwide, most of the best companies have my team as their, I have many of my team coming from most of the best companies. So for the platform also, we have dedicated staff that are running it. We have key processes for ensuring that it's a continuous thing, that we get it continuous, and that we are not taken away by the normal challenges that takes the everyday startup. We have tenacity. We've been at it for 5 years, 7 years now. We've been going, we've been bootstrapping. We only got funding this year, and we've been doing this for over 6 years. We've never stopped. We did it whether we had funding or we didn't have funding. We kept going, and we've been servicing over 100 resellers. We've done over $100,000 of orders. So that's why they need to invest in us. And the market is very big. Nigeria is about 200 million. We're not only doing Nigeria, we're doing the whole of Africa. We're expanding our team. We're recruiting more people from better companies, and we are engaging them. We are having more services coming up soon, like the telemedicine that you talked about. So that's why an investor should come in now.
Let me ask you. You need to deliver, okay? So when they book your drugs, you need to deliver. How is the infrastructure? Can you make it?
Of course, like I said in the earlier, where you were talking about what we'll be using our funding for, we're going to purchase vans and delivery bikes. The vans will be used to distribute to the resellers, the delivery bikes for the patients. So everybody will be covered with this infrastructure. So, and our vans they're going to be very good. We've met with our vendors. They are internationally renowned. The vans are certified good, even by the regulatory authorities. They're going to be cool for transporting our products. And in locations that we cannot reach because of the distance, we're going to have third-party vendors, third-party suppliers that are going to reach there on our behalf.
How many people form your team? How we do now?
Okay, presently we have about 5. I'm the CEO. We have the pharmacist, we have the business development manager, we have the CTO, and then we have interns. So we are presently 5 now.
Okay. I mean, I do believe we are doing something right. And yes, infrastructure and medicine, healthcare are absolutely key to your country, any country, anyway, in developing country even more. And I do hope, Oluseye, you can make it. I'm pretty sure you will.
Thank you.
And I do hope in EquityMatch we can do whatever we can to help you to raise your next 143 and move on your dream and business. Thank you so much for coming to the talk. Thank you again. Take care.